Hi everybody, welcome to St. Peter's Preschool Time. My name's Mrs. May and I work at St. Peter's in the Froggy Room. But as you can see, we're not in the Froggy Room today. I'm in my house and I'm hoping to share with you all about a special topic that happens in the season of fall. But before I start, I want you to meet somebody. Come on up here, Coco. Don't be shy. Do you hear that? This is Coco. Oh, Coco, come on back. Don't worry. These boys and girls are out there and they can wave to you. Can you wave to Coco? Say hi, Coco. It's okay. Those friends are having fun at preschool time, just like you're going to do, okay? Okay, friends, I thought we'd start out just like you did with Mrs. Striggle and Mrs. Smith, our welcome song. So let's sing it together, and I'm going to add something to it. I am going to do a part where I move my hand like this in front of my chest when I say glad, because that is a sign language. And a sign language is for people that can't say words, so they use signs to talk. Right, Coco? So this motion means glad. So when we say that part in the song, I'm going to be doing this. Let's try. Ready? Welcome to St. Peter's time, St. Peter's time, St. Peter's time. Welcome to St. Peter's time. We're so glad you're here. Good job! Well, friends, I thought I'd give you something to think about. So, Coco, you can help too. I'm going to give some clues to what we're going to talk about. Clue number 1, it is a fruit. Clue number 2, it grows on a tree. Clue number 3, it's delicious. Clue number 4, it can be red, green, yellow, sometimes red and yellow, sometimes red, yellow, and green, all those different things. Does anybody have an idea? Oh, you do? Oh, okay, calm down. Let's give the boys and girls a chance, okay? Okay, let me hear some of your ideas. Oh, they guessed it! What was it, Coco? Apples! That's right, we're going to talk about apples today. All different games with apples, how God made many different kinds of apples for us to taste and enjoy. Right, Coco? Oh, what do you want to tell me? Oh, he said that he loves apples too. He thinks they taste so good. And what else? Yes, apples are a great healthy snack. So if you get hungry, you could ask a grown-up, could I have an apple? Because that would be good for you and it would taste good. Hi everybody. We're going to use our imagination game. And it goes like this. I'll say bippity boppity boo. Can you imagine too? And Coco and I are going to pretend that we are at an apple orchard and we are going to be an apple tree. Look at this nice big apple tree here. Here its trunk and its branches, and look at all those apples. Look at that kinds of apples God can grow on an apple tree. Can you help me name some of the colors? Red, right? Yellow and green. Sometimes red apples are called red delicious. Sometimes there's yellow apples. There's many other names for different kinds of apples, but a yellow apple is sometimes called yellow delicious, and a green apple is sometimes called Granny Smith. Those are just a few of the apple names that I know, but there's many more like Pink Lady and Gala and all different kinds. So friends, let's stand up and pretend we're an apple tree. Ready? Let's stand up tall. Coco, you sit right here and watch. And we're gonna stretch our arms up. These are our branches, our legs are our trunk, and we're gonna say, way up in the apple tree, 2 little apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples. Were they good? Let's try it one more time. Use your imagination. Ready? Way up in the apple tree, 2 little apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples. Were they good? Do you know what? We are not the only ones that like apples. There are many animals that like apples. And I am going to show you some. Let's see if you can name them for me. We have us. What's this? Do you know? A squirrel. And he's not eating an apple, he is eating an acorn. And those are seeds that fall out of the oak tree in the fall. But he likes apples too. You'll know this one. That's right, horses like apples. What's this? Bears like apples. Yes. Here's something that might be hopping around in your yard. Bunnies. That's right. You have good answers. How about this animal? Deer likes apples. And I have another one. Look at this little guy. Mice like apples. Now, there are many other animals that like apples, but I have one more little wiggly one that likes apples. And Coco, come on over here. You can be my helper. Do you know what wiggles and crawls under the ground that likes apples? Oh, you're right. Worms like apples. And you want to help me with this fun poem about an apple? You help me out, okay, Coco? Apples from the apple tree. I got an apple. Let's look at this apple. Look, it has a hole in it. And what else is going on with this apple? Oh, it's got a bite. I got an apple from an apple tree, but the apple had a hole in it that I didn't see. I bit the apple, and it made me squirm. For the apple had a hole in it, and the hole had a worm. Ooh, what do you think about that? Oh my goodness. Sometimes when apples lay on the ground, a little worm might come over and nibble on it. Do you want to say that poem one more time with me? Apples from the apple tree. I got an apple from an apple tree, but the apple had a hole in it that I didn't see. I bit the apple, and it made me squirm. For the apple had a hole in it, and the hole had a worm. Good job. Friends, that was a fun poem, and we learned about other apples. And we learned also that there are many animals that like apples besides us. Remember, apples are a healthy snack. Now we're going to play a game about patterns. A pattern is something that you repeat over and over again. I have a pattern of a red and yellow apple. And we're going to repeat that. Do it over again and make that same pattern. Red apple, yellow apple, again. First is the red, then the yellow. To make this again and make a pattern, what would be next? Anybody have an idea? You're right. Red. Red apple, yellow apple, red apple. What would be next to make the pattern? You're right. Yellow. Let's do the pattern one more time. The red, yellow pattern. Red, yellow, red, yellow. Do you want to take a guess what's next? You're right, red. And then yellow. We made a red and yellow pattern. Good job. Now we'll try another pattern. Let's try a red, green pattern. Red, green. First is our red apple and then our green apple. And we're going to repeat this over again, this pattern. So what would be next? Red, green, red. Red first, green second. Red, and then green. Whoops, I got a little bend in there. It's a little hard to see. And then what would be next? Red. And then one more. Green. Let's say it. Red, green, red, green, red, green. We made a red, green apple pattern. We're going to do one more, and this is a little trickier, but I think you can do it. This is called a red, green, yellow pattern. Let's try it. Red, green, yellow. That's our pattern. Let's repeat it and do it again. What's first? Anybody know? You're right, red. What comes next? Let's hope our green. And then yellow. We made a red, green, yellow pattern. Red, green, yellow. Great job. Friends, we're going to go back into our apple orchard and we're going to use our imagination again. This time, I'm going to say, do you remember those words? Bippity boppity boo. Can you use your imagination too? Let's all stand up and I'm going to play a little game with you and tell you a story. We are out in our apple orchard. Do you remember our apple orchard is many trees all grouped together of all kinds of apples. And oftentimes that's where our apples come from when we go to the grocery store. People pick the apples and then they put them in a big truck and they drive them to the store. Now, we're going to play a game called Pick Up the Apples. But first of all, I want you to pretend you're an apple tree. You can imagine your red apples or green apples or your yellow apples, like Red Delicious or Yellow Delicious or Granny Smith, whatever you want to be. And you're a tall tree, but there's a storm coming and the clouds are getting dark. And all of a sudden, the wind is kicking up. Can you make your apple tree move like this? Good. And it's getting windier and windier. And oh my goodness, it's starting to rain. And the apples are starting to fall off the tree. And they landed all over the ground. Let's look around. Now we're in the orchard and we see all these apples. The sun is out. The storm is over. What do we do? Good idea. Pick up the apples. So we're going to pretend that we have a little basket. Mrs. May has hers. And we're going to play a game called Pick Up the Apples. And you hold on to your imaginary basket. Remember, this is our bippity boppity boo. Use your imagination too. And pretend you're picking up apples. I'll sing the song and you can sing along. It goes, pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Hey friends, what are we going to make with these apples? How about let's all make some applesauce. Did you know you can make applesauce out of apples? How many of you like applesauce? Wow, there's a lot of you that like applesauce. Let's try that song again, see what else we can make out of it. Maybe you can shout something when I say let's all make. You can name what you want to make. Ready? Get your imaginary basket out. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Let's all make some apple, what? Pie. Oh, yum. Who likes apple pie? I do. Oh, I see a lot of you do. Good job. Let's do that song one more time. Come on, let's get these apples. That storm took all the apples off the tree, and we got to pick them up. We don't want those worms to eat them. Well, maybe we'll leave a couple for the worms and the squirrels and the bunnies and the deer, right? Okay, ready? One more time. Help me out. Bend over. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Pick up the apples, put them in the basket. Let's all make some apple juice. How many of you like apple juice? Yum! That is a good snack, isn't it? Friends, you played that game so well. There are so many things you can make out of apples. You can make apple dumplings, apple cake. You can even cut up an apple and put Nutella on it. And if you're allowed to have peanut butter at your house, you could put peanut butter on it. You can make apple cookies, but you would need a grown-up to do all those things, right? So enjoy those healthy treats. Now we're going to play another game. It's called Willie the Worm Apple Game, and it's going to help us learn our numbers. Now let's count how many apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 apples. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little poem. And with that poem, it's going to help you figure out where Willie the Worm is hiding. Now look at Coco down here. He is doing a good job of putting his head down and hiding his eyes so that I can hide Willie the worm, and nobody's watching. Okay, good job, Coco. Now, let's look at the apples. Willie is hiding behind one of these apples, and I'm going to give you a clue. Willie, Willie, let me see. Are you hiding under number? And I'm going to give you a clue. This is how many dots the number is, and it rhymes with C. Willie, Willie, let me see. Are you hiding under number? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. That's right. Let's see if he's hiding under number 3. 1. Here's number 2. 3. Let's look up. There's Willie the worm. You guessed it. Okay, let's all look at Coco. Put your head down. Close your eyes. Let's see if we can find. Okay, open your eyes and look at the apples. Here's the next clue. Willie, Willie, let's have some fun. Are you hiding under number? This is something that rhymes with fun. Willie, Willie, let's have some fun. Are you hiding under number? How many dots are on this circle? 1. Willie, Willie, let's have some fun. Are you hiding under number 1? 1 is the first one. Let's see if you're right. Ah! There he is. Willie is hiding under number 1. You're doing very good at this game. Okay, let's look at Coco. He's got his head down. He's closing his eyes. No peeking. Okay, let's try this one. Willie, Willie. This is such a chore. Are you hiding under number? Think. This is a word that this is a number that rhymes with the word chore. Willie, Willie, this is such a chore. Are you hiding under number? Let's look at this circle and count the dots. Some of you might already know the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Up. Here's number 4. Let's see if Willie's behind there. There he is. Hi, Willie. I have a story for you, friends. It's called Big Red Apple. And the person who wrote it is called, the author of the book is Tony Johnson. And the person who illustrated these beautiful pictures from fabric and stitching is by Judith Hoffman Corwin. It's called Big Red Apple. A tree grew. Look what kind of tree it is. It's an apple tree. The tree was full of big red apples. Wind came. It blew with a big, loud whisper. Look what happened over here. The apples are falling just like our game we played. It shook one big red apple down. The big red apple lay on the ground like a bright red rock. A worm came. Look how happy he looks. Like a tiny mole, it ate a tiny hole in the big red apple. A bird came. It ate the worm with a big, loud squawk. It pecked the big red apple, and then it flew off. A boy came. He picked up the big red apple. Thunk! He slapped it in his hand like a juicy red baseball. Crunch, 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 he ate the big red apple. He spit the seeds, foot, 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 and the seeds fell to the ground, fit, fit, fit. I wonder what'll happen to those seeds. Rain came. Its long, wet fingers patted the seeds into the dirt. There they are, down in the dirt. Sun came. It shimmered and made the seeds warm. Look what's happening. Little sprouts. So a tree grew, and the tree was full of big red apples. The end. Friends, the last thing we're going to do is something you can do at home with a grown-up. Find your grown-up, get an apple and some toothpicks. And what we're going to do is we are going to build something out of the apple pieces. So get your grown-up and ask them to cut your apple in little chunks like this. And then I have a couple challenges for you. I thought it'd be fun to build some apple shapes. Do you know what shape this is? Yes, it's a triangle. Good job. Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3. It has 3 sides. And let's see how many points it has. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Let's see if we can build a triangle from our apples. So if it has 3 sides, we can have 3 toothpicks. Let's see. How can we build this? We get an apple piece and we stick our toothpick in the apple. We have 2 sides. Now we put another piece of apple. Put our toothpick in, and we need 3 points. I built an apple triangle. Do you see the triangle? 1, 2, 3 points and 1, 2, 3 sides. Maybe you could try that at home. And then you and your mom or your grown-up could try a square. Or maybe even do you know what shape this is? A rectangle. Have fun, and when you're all done, you might want to take an apple and eat it for your snack. Enjoy. Friends, I hope your triangle toothpick apple treats were fun to make and yummy to eat. I would like to sing our goodbye song because it's the end of our St. Peter's Preschool time. And I thought maybe Coco might want to come up here and help me. Coco, do you want to help us sing our goodbye song? You would? What's wrong? Oh, you're a little sad it's over. I know, but we'll get together again, okay? Okay, our goodbye song. You already heard it from Mrs. Striggle and Mrs. Smith. It goes like this. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.